with One Piece Season 2 officially on the way, now is the perfect time to look back at where this crazy adventure all started. So today, we're gonna jump right back in and recap the entire East Blue saga from Season 1. We'll hit every major moment to get you totally ready for what's next for the Straw Hats. Alright, so our story kicks off with the one single event that launched the entire Great Pirate Era. You've got the King of the Pirates, Gold Roger, on the execution platform. And right before the end, he does something incredible. With his last breath, he basically tells the entire world that his massive treasure is out there for the taking. And just like that, he lit a fire, and pretty much everyone, sparking this insane race to find his hidden fortune. And that legendary treasure became known as the One Piece. Now, for 20 years, you've got pirates from every corner of the globe desperately searching for it. But nothing. The treasure remained a complete and utter myth. That is, until we meet this kid, a super optimistic, ambitious boy in a tiny rowboat named Monkey D. Luffy. And with this giant grin on his face, he just flat out declares that he's going to be the one to find the One Piece and become the new king of the pirates. So how did this kid get such a crazy idea? Well, as a child, his hero was the pirate red-haired Shanks. One day, Luffy accidentally eats this weird-looking fruit from Shanks' treasure chest, and boom, his body gets the properties of rubber. The only catch? He can never swim again. When Shanks eventually leaves the island, he gives Luffy his own precious straw hat, telling him to give it back one day when he becomes a great pirate.
But here's the thing, you can't become the pirate king all by yourself. So, Luffy's first order of business? He needed to find a crew to join him on this epic quest.
And his very first recruit was none other than the infamous three-sword-wielding pirate hunter Roronoa Zoro. Luffy literally finds him tied to a post at a marine base in a place called Shellstown, and immediately goes, "Yep, that's my guy." Now, getting him on board wasn't exactly a walk in the park. Zoro was a prisoner of this totally corrupt marine, Captain Axe-Hand Morgan. At the exact same time, a mysterious thief named Nami is there trying to steal a map to the Grand Line. So all their paths just collide and they form this shaky team-up to take down Morgan and get what they all want. Next up on the checklist, the new crew needed a proper ship. Their search takes them to Syrup Village, and that's where they run into a local character named Usopp, who's, well, he's known for his wild stories and maybe a few fibs here and there. Usopp introduces them to his rich friend Kaya, but they very quickly realize they've stumbled into something really sinister. You see, Kaya's loyal butler Klahadore, he's actually the ruthless pirate captain Kuro in disguise, and he plans to kill Kaya to get her fortune. This, of course, leads to a massive fight to save their new friend and the entire village. After they save the day, Kaya gifts them their very first ship, the awesome Going Merry, and Usopp officially comes aboard. Their journey then takes them to the Barati, this incredible floating restaurant, and this is where they find their cook, Sanji, a smooth, girl-crazy chef who also happens to have a crazy powerful fighting style using only his feet. So, the Straw Hat crew is finally starting to look like a real crew. But when you start making waves, you start to attract some unwanted attention, and I mean powerful attention, from both the Marines and other pirates.
Yeah, a really tough Marine Vice Admiral named Garp starts chasing the Going Merry, and he is not messing around. But there's something weird about it. His obsession with catching Luffy feels super personal, like there's more to the story.
And then, bam! The big reveal! Garp is Luffy's grandfather. Turns out he always wanted Luffy to become a great Marine, so seeing his grandson try to become the king of the pirates, well, he sees it as a path to total disaster. Talk about family drama. While all that family stuff is going down, Zoro comes face to face with his life's ambition, Dracule Hawkeye Mihawk, the undisputed greatest swordsman in the world, just shows up. Zoro, of course, challenges him to a duel. He gets completely and utterly defeated. But Mihawk is so impressed by his spirit that he spares his life, leaving Zoro with a vow to never, ever lose again. You'd think that facing down a Marine Admiral or the world's greatest swordsman would be their biggest challenge, right? Nope, their most devastating test was about to come from a shocking betrayal from one of their own. In a move that was just gut-wrenching, Nami reveals her true colors. She was secretly a member of the terrifying Arlong pirates, a crew of powerful fishmen. She betrays the crew, beats up Usopp, and steals their ship and the map, leaving them completely stranded. But her reason for doing it? It's absolutely heartbreaking. Years ago, the pirate Arlong took over her village and murdered her adoptive mother right in front of her.
Then, he forced her into this horrible deal. If she could bring him 100 million berries, he'd set her village free. But right when she finally gets the money, Arlong breaks the deal and has a corrupt marine steal it all.
With her entire life's work just gone and all hope lost, Nami completely breaks down. And in that moment, she finally asks Luffy for help. And he doesn't even hesitate. He just takes his treasured straw hat and puts it on her head, a silent promise that he's got this. And what follows is the crew's first true test. The Straw Hats launch an all-out assault on Arlong Park. This wasn't just a fight. This was the moment they stopped being a group of misfits and became a real crew. It all ends with Luffy completely demolishing Arlong's headquarters and finally defeating the Fishman tyrant, freeing Cocoa Village once and for all.
So with Nami officially, and for real this time, a member of the crew and their bonds forged in a massive battle, the world could no longer ignore these rookie pirates in the Straw Hat.
And what was the result of their huge victory? Luffy gets his very first wanted poster with a massive 30 million berry bounty on his head. Just like that, he becomes the most wanted pirate in the entire East Blue.
But, that kind of fame is a double-edged sword. It paints a giant target on their backs. We see old enemies like Buggy the Clown teaming up to come after them. We also get a cool moment where Luffy's mentor, Shanks, sees the poster and celebrates. And then we get this final, ominous shot of a mysterious Marine officer just casually burning Luffy's poster with his cigar.
So their crew is finally together, their captain's got a huge bounty, and they're finally setting sail for the most dangerous sea in the world. The real journey has only just begun. And that leaves us with just one question. Are they truly ready for the dangers waiting for them in the Grand Line?